What's up, Gumballers? Today, we're diving deep into something the amazing world of Gumball never wanted you to fully realize. Behind Nicole Watterson's savage roasts, unstoppable karate chops, and fierce mom energy lies a dark, tragic past that shaped everything she is today. This is Nicole Watterson's hidden backstory.
What kind of childhood was that? I was only 8 years old.
Well, at that age, I was already 10.
The Traumatic Truth Cartoon Network kept subtle under comedic edits and why it's far more heartbreaking than you ever imagined. Because once you see her truth, you can never unsee it. Who is Nicole Watterson really? On the surface, Nicole is Elmore's strictest mom. She's a hard-working blue cat who takes zero nonsense, drags Richard around like a rag doll, and makes enemies tremble just by glaring at them. But under that tough exterior is a broken girl who was never allowed to heal. Here's what the show hid from us: her family trauma. Nicole Watterson's maiden name is Senecourt, and her childhood wasn't just strict, it was borderline abusive. Her mother, Mary Senecourt, demanded absolute perfection. In Season 4, Episode 28, The Choices, we see teenage Nicole burst into tears when her mother scolds her for throwing away her future by daydreaming about love instead of focusing on college exams.
Now what am I gonna do? How much time have I got?
54,321 minutes until your graduation.
But here's the dark undertone. Mary treated Nicole like a project, not a daughter. Her father, Daniel Senecourt, was emotionally distant, cold. He rarely showed affection, if ever. Nicole felt alienated in her own home, like a stranger forced to perform for approval that never truly came. Imagine waking up every day, terrified of disappointing your parents, being treated like a performance machine, and punished for simply wanting happiness. That psychological damage never left Nicole. It molded her into the anxious, overachieving adult she became. Why she's addicted to work. Ever wonder why Nicole's entire existence revolves around her job at the Rainbow Factory? She works relentlessly, barely sleeps, and beams with pride at her Employee of the Month photos lined up like trophies. Here's the hidden meaning. Work is her only place of value. Growing up, her worth was tied to achievements. If she wasn't the best, she was worthless in her parents' eyes. Now as an adult, she's recreating that toxic validation cycle to avoid feeling empty. That's why failures trigger her rage. Mistakes aren't minor slip-ups to her, they're catastrophic threats to her fragile identity.
What have you done?
Don't worry, honey.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't go through with it.
The Richard factor. Her forbidden love. Why would an intelligent, driven, powerful woman marry a childish, lazy, incompetent man like Richard? The answer is rebellion. Richard was everything her parents hated. In The Choices, young Nicole tears up as her mother calls Richard that lazy boy who will ruin your life. And she whispers, "I wish you could just let me be happy." Richard represented freedom, a life without rigid expectations or daily psychological torture. He loved her for her quirks, flaws, and emotional explosions. To Mary Senecourt, Richard was worthless. To Nicole, he was salvation. But here's the tragic twist. She traded her prison for chaos. Her inner child got love, but her adult self got a partner who often left her feeling alone in responsibility.
See? That's your problem. You always let your anger get the better of...
Why she's always angry. Nicole's rage isn't comedic exaggeration, it's a trauma. Years of bottled fury towards her mother, her father, her stolen childhood transformed into explosive outbursts at the slightest triggers. When Richard is incompetent, when her kids risk failure, when life feels out of control. Her anger isn't random. It's her broken inner child screaming, "I can't fail, I can't relax, I can't just be human, or I'll lose everything." The saddest part, she thinks rage is strength because her parents punished vulnerability. The dream she never got to live. Nicole didn't dream of Rainbow Factory spreadsheets. She wanted to be a martial artist. Her combat skills weren't comedic plot devices, they were her real passion. But her parents shut her down. Fighting is useless. Focus on your studies. That's why even as an adult, karate remains her last rebellion. Her only piece of the life she truly wanted. Imagine loving something so deeply, but being told it's worthless, and believing it.
People will like me?
But lots of people already like you.
Really? Like who?
Gumballers, if this truth about Nicole is hitting you deep, smash that like button right now. It helps us reach every Gumball fan who deserves to see the reality behind their favorite show's comedy. Subscribe so you never miss hidden truths like this. The show's symbolic storytelling. Nicole is the perfect reflection of modern mothers trapped in generational trauma cycles. They're powerful but powerless, loved but unloved, successful but unfulfilled. Cartoons rarely write psychological realism into characters, but Gumball did. Nicole is a comedic mask, hiding a psychological horror most viewers never decode. Under her savage work ethic and comedic roasts is a girl still crying for love she never received. Why she loves her kids differently. Notice how fiercely protective Nicole is of Gumball, Darwin, and Aeneas. She's tough, yes, but it's because she wants them to have the freedom she never did.
What? We travel faster than the speed of sound. Give it a second.
Gumball gets to be goofy and creative. Darwin embraces his emotions freely. Aeneas is allowed to shine intellectually. She's trying to break her family's generational curse, but since no one treated her gently, she doesn't know how to be gentle. Her love feels harsh because she never learned any other way. Her secret fear of failure. Nicole is terrified of failing her family because her entire childhood taught her, if you fail, you're worthless. She lives under constant pressure to keep everything perfect, so her kids never feel the emptiness she carries daily. Her silence in pain. Ever notice how Nicole never truly talks about her past?
Because I asked for an advance on my next quarter.
She hides it under sarcasm, savage roasts, and unstoppable hustle. But silence is often louder than screaming. Every time she smiles at her family while holding back tears, it's a reminder that unresolved childhood trauma never goes away. It grows up with you, morphing into adult burnout, anxiety, rage, and despair. Nicole's silence is the silence of millions today who wake up, put on their work badge, hide their scars with productivity, and hope no one sees them falling apart inside. The mother-daughter cycle. One of the most heartbreaking revelations is that Nicole unintentionally mirrors her mother's behavior at times. Her pressure on Aeneas to excel, her inability to tolerate Richard's laziness despite loving him, her tendency to punish failure harshly. Because that's what trauma does. It rewires love languages into survival tactics. Her intentions are pure, but her methods are rooted in pain. Breaking generational curses isn't just about loving your kids differently. It's about healing yourself so your wounds don't bleed onto them. Richard's hidden role in her life. Richard may seem useless on the surface, but he unknowingly saves Nicole every single day. His childish nature forces her to confront her control issues. His constant chaos keeps her distracted from falling into depressive episodes. His unconditional love is the only thing keeping her fragile inner child from total collapse. But it's a bittersweet cycle because while he soothes her pain, he also triggers it by being the incompetent, carefree human she was never allowed to be. The glitch metaphor decoded. Remember our recent breakdown on Gumball's glitch ending? Nicole herself is a glitch. She is a corrupted code in society's programming, someone who refused to become just another clone of her parents' rigid expectations, but never fully escaped their control.
Like how you made me wear those ridiculous clothes my whole life. In life, you have to dress for the job you want.
Don't you think you started a little early?
Her constant breakdowns are her system crashing under the weight of unprocessed pain. Her unstoppable work ethic is a looped script society wrote for her since childhood. What if Nicole could heal? Imagine an alternate Gumball universe where Nicole pursues her martial arts dream fully, cuts off her toxic parents to heal without guilt, learns to love Richard's flaws instead of resenting them, reconnects with her inner child without shame. We would see Nicole who is still fierce but no longer angry, still driven but no longer burned out, still protective but no longer suffocating. That's the redemption arc Cartoon Network never showed, but it's the one every viewer secretly wishes for her. Her fight represents us all. Nicole's karate isn't just comedic animation, it's symbolic. She's fighting every day against burnout, generational trauma, patriarchal work systems exploiting her worth, and her own mind telling her she's never enough. She is the battle millions of mothers, daughters, and women face daily, the battle to stay sane in a world that profits from their exhaustion. Why this backstory matters. You might think, it's just a cartoon, why does her past matter? Because fiction reflects reality. Cartoons like Gumball sneak truths past your defenses. You laugh, but subconsciously, you recognize the pain hidden beneath comedic edits. Nicole's story is the silent story of every overworked mom, every child forced to achieve to be loved,
Gotcha, Mom. Don't destroy it.
No, I really mean it this time.
Don't worry, Mrs. Mom. We get it.
Every woman carrying scars behind a perfect smile. CTA, if Nicole's pain feels seen, don't let her story remain hidden under comedic edits. Smash that subscribe button and join our growing tribe. Let's keep exposing the hidden truths behind our favorite shows every single week. Final philosophical reveal. Here's the last twist most fans never realize. In Gumball's world, Nicole is the glue holding everything together. Remove her and Richard falls apart. The kids go wild, the finances collapse, the house rots, and Elmore loses its stability. But in our world, how many Nicoles are silently keeping entire families, companies, and communities afloat while their own souls slowly die inside? That's the real tragedy. Because when the glue breaks, everything it holds together collapses too. Her true legacy. Nicole's true legacy isn't her trophies, her employee awards, or her savage comebacks. It's this. She showed millions that behind every strong woman is a child who was never allowed to rest, play, or fail without punishment. If you could give Nicole a superpower to finally heal from her trauma, what would it be? Drop your response in the comments, share this video with your Gumball friends, and subscribe right here with notifications on. Because there's always another hidden truth waiting to be revealed, and you don't want to miss it.